What is the 6-pin power connector on an HP ProDesk? I have an HP ProDesk 600G1 desktop PC, and I'm upgrading it with a new graphics card and a new power supply. Now, the problem I'm having is that the motherboard in the PC doesn't have a standard 24-pin ATX power connector. Instead, it has a 6-pin power connector and a 4-pin next to the CPU. The 4-pin isn't a problem, my new PSU has that, but the 6-pin has me worried. Can I just connect the PCIe 6-pin power cable to the motherboard? Or do I need a custom PSU? Edit, connector image.
I would not even think about this without a ton of due diligence. Firstly, if the full-sized version of the system uses the same oddball PSU as the slim versions, an ATX PSU wouldn't even fit. I'd consider a few other things. Assuming it's a 12V only power input for the motherboard, a motherboard power supply would at least have a green power on cable. Assuming one yellow 12V and one black ground cable, the other 3 cables could be power good, or sense cables, or any combination. It might even be a 5V cable. That is even assuming a PCIe cable fits. They have different keying, 4 different 6-pin Molex cables, and you'd not get power anyway without the green power on cable being connected to IRC, a ground. In short, I suspect attempting to upgrade the PSU on anything that's not standard ATX is going to involve a ton of work with a multimeter, lots of testing and cable splicing. Even that is probably something I wouldn't particularly recommend. It could be dangerous to either you, the system, or both if you get it wrong.
Those HP monstrosities are not compatible with anything else. You need a custom PSU. This is not going to work with a normal PSU. It's not just a matter of wiring up a conversion plug. Power_online handling is different too. Don't use the SI power plug unless you like smoke to come out of the motherboard.
I happen to have a HP G600 standing right next to me from a customer, so I took some pictures. As visible in the top picture, the blue and purple cables going into the 6-pin plug are not as thick as the other 4, so those would be the ones carrying the power on signal, with the 4 black and yellow ones carrying power. This is clearly not compatible with the standard PSI 6-pin GPU connector. I would advise you to check the HP support site for the HP ProDesk 600G1 for a list of compatible graphics cards that will work with your current SU. For example, I found this AMD Radeon HD 8490DP 1GB PSI X16 graphics card on the list, which is a somewhat decent card, which is guaranteed to work with your system. As mentioned in the other answers, trying to get a standard SU to fit the case motherboard would be a major hassle. I would definitely not recommend this. The lesson here is, don't use a professional desktop PC for home, entertainment, gaming purposes, if you can avoid it, as they are typically hard to upgrade. Edit, after reading at Jason's comment below, I did some further research. The Q85 chipset features one PSI X16 expansion slot. From the HP support website. And from the Intel Q85 chipset specifications. This is obviously different from what I wrote in my hasty comment below.
It's not a standard power supply. The organization involved in the 80+ program tested this power supply. Where you would normally see something like ATX 12V, it says, custom.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.